Welcome to the LU Moment, where we showcase all the great events, activities, programs, and people right here at Lamar University. I'm Shelby Rodriguez, Associate Director of Community Relations and Public Affairs here at LU, and I want to welcome you all back to this week's episode, right? Okay, so listen, I have a very special guest joining me on the show today. Quentin Jiles, who is a longtime political analyst, author, and he's a Lamar University alum, and he happens to be my castmate on Peacock's new competition reality series titled The Traitors. So if you haven't seen The Traitors, don't you worry, we got you covered. We have the trailer right here for you.
Deep in the Scottish Highlands, there's a castle where the faithful reside. Their goal? Win $250,000. But hidden amongst them are 3 traitors.
Exciting, isn't it? You will need the strength of a lion and the stealth of a fox.
You might know me from The Bachelor.
I am from Survivor.
Big Brother All-Stars.
Hello, Dad.
Honey, I'm looking for every excuse to get you gone.
No! I think you're a traitor. I think you're a traitor. I trusted you.
There are traitors amongst you. Do you know who they are? And you thought The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was bad.
All right, so Quentin, let's go ahead and get into this interview.
Yes.
Give the audience your own synopsis of The Traitors, right? Because we were on the show together.
We were.
What is your definition of The Traitors?
Oh gosh, The Traitors is a psychological thriller that keeps you guessing. It is full of lies, manipulation, backstabbing, physical challenges, emotional challenges, challenges with rats, crickets, and bugs. Okay,
it was crucial.
It was horrible, actually.
Yeah,
in a great way.
It was something.
It was in a great way, but it's a competition reality show that I don't think that we've ever seen before.
Right.
Because you have this large group working as a collective, but you secretly have these traitors that are trying to backstab and take the $250,000 grand prize. And so it's interesting with all those components, along with the celebrity component, plus the the new face component as well. It's just. It's a thriller that everybody needs to see.
There were 20 of us in a castle in Scotland.
Yes.
I mean, let me ask you, why did you even apply for the show? I know for me, that was my year of yes, right? 2021, I'm like, I'm just doing it. I'm applying. I'm doing stuff that scares me. But why did Quentin apply?
Oh, gosh. I applied because originally when I was approached about it, I figured, yeah, great. I would be able to suss out people that are lying. Just with my social work background and my political analyst job, I'm like, yeah, of course, I have to disseminate information all the time, so I should be able to do this. And then also, you know, it wouldn't hurt to be on the people's TV. So
I know that's right.
I signed up, you know, to do it and to have a good time and to hopefully win the $250,000. And at that time, my wife and I, we were 5 months pregnant. So winning that money would have done wonders, or maybe it did do wonders for our life.
No spoilers, right? No spoilers. So give me 3 words to describe the show and your experience on the show.
Oh gosh. Cunning, evil, exhilarating.
Ooh, those are all dramatic. Ooh.
It was dramatic. You were there.
I was there.
It was dramatic. It was dramatic, traumatic, and fun.
Yeah.
3 more words.
Yeah, for me, it was surreal, right? Because we have the reality stars, and then we're meeting 10 or 9 other individuals, but we also left our families behind.
Yes.
Yeah. How
Which
was
hard.
that? Yeah.
It was difficult because I'm a very involved father. Like, I don't ever want my kid to feel what I felt growing up in a single parent household.
Yeah.
And so probably almost to a fault, I'm very involved, whether it's, you know, when we were pregnant, the OB appointments, now with the pediatrician appointments. I take pamper shifts overnight. I'm 12 to 4. My wife is 4 to 8. Oh, you're
in there.
Oh, I'm in it.
You
I'm
are
like in it, you know.
Yeah.
So to leave that month when we were 5 months pregnant, and to, you know, we were there. We didn't have our phones. We couldn't call home.
There's no service in the castle, y'all.
There's no service in the castle. You don't know what's happening back home. It was really hard for me because a lot can happen in a month in pregnancy.
That's for sure.
But being there, I tried as best I could, and I think I did okay to keep my head in the game to win the money. But it was painful on the inside.
It was painful on the inside. So I'm going to ask the $1 million question, or $250,000 question.
Yes.
Everyone probably wants to know, would you do this again?
Would you do it again?
I would do it again. It's a once in a lifetime experience. But if it comes around again,
Okay.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it again and do it even bigger.
I don't know that I would do it again.
Okay. Okay, that's honest.
Yeah, for me, again, like at this point, my daughter's 4 months.
Yeah.
4 months. So to leave for a month, I feel like there are too many critical milestones that she's about to experience.
Yeah.
So maybe if she was a little older, maybe like 5 or 6, when I could have a conversation and she could somewhat understand what's happening, maybe. But
I get
right
that.
now, it's a no for me.
I get that because I'm a mom of a 5-year-old and she fully understands what's
Right.
happening. She's like, you're
Right.
on the TV, you're
Exactly.
on Peacock. So no, I definitely get that.
Yeah.
Aw, I love that, Quentin.
Yeah, that's my baby. I can't,
All right,
can't
so
do it.
let's back up a little bit.
Yes.
You are in Lamar University alum, but you're from Houston, yes?
Yes, I am.
Why did you apply
To
to
Lamar
attend
University?
LU? Yeah.
You know what? To be very transparent and
I
honest,
want you to be. Yeah.
I took a gap year before a gap year was a thing. So upon graduating high school, I really don't have a traditional educational experience. Back then, we still had the tax test.
Oh, yeah.
Come on now, let's
okay.
talk about it.
You did take us back. You took us
We
back.
had the tax
okay.
test. I took the science portion 4 times and failed it all 4 times.
Yes.
So I didn't graduate high school in a way in which most people did.
Yeah.
Right? And so in applying to colleges, I took that year off and trying to find a college that I would go to. My friends were at Lamar, but we also had the technical college, LIT, across the street.
Yeah.
And at the time, you could go to LIT while living on Lamar campus, go there for a semester, and then transfer if your grades were up to par. So that's still a thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, that was my thing. Okay, that's my story.
That was your journey. Though.
Yeah, that was my journey, and so it worked because for many different reasons. It allowed me that bridge from going to LIT to Lamar while still getting an on-campus experience. My friends were already here. A good amount of my friends came to Lamar during that gap year that I took off. And then also, from Houston to Beaumont is an hour and a half. So I felt like I was far enough away from my family to where they just couldn't roll up on me.
They can't just pop up.
Right, but I was still close enough to where if I needed them, they could get to me.
Yeah.
So it really it worked for my life, and that's why I came here.
And remind us of your major.
Oh, so my major, I'm a social work major. Well, was a social work major. I did graduate. High school and college careers were quite different.
Yes,
But
social work major.
Yeah,
but you were quite involved on campus, right?
Yes.
Give us the rundown.
Yeah,
Give us the rundown.
So I just, I like being involved, or I love, people. So I was involved in this one organization called Man Up, which was...
It's still around.
It's still around?
Still around.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Man Up is
so
here.
it centered around, boys becoming men in this college environment. And I ended up being ultimately the secretary for the organization. I was also the treasurer for the NAACP collegiate organization.
Yes.
And then I became the president of that organization. There was this Office of Student Affairs here on campus. I worked as a student director, and we would facilitate new student orientations and parent orientation when people were coming to Lamar. And then I went on to be the Student Government Association president my senior year as well. And so, I was all up and through LU.
You was all up and through.
Oh yeah, all up and through. That's not a real word, but I was all up and through.
Oh my gosh. So how do you think that your experiences here at LU, because you were really involved, right?
I was.
How do you think your experiences here at LU kind of helped shape who you are as an adult now, or helped you mold your career path?
It honestly, it changed the trajectory of my life, if I'm honest. High school me and college me are 2 totally different people. High school me was not motivated, didn't really see.
And that's a lot of us, right? That was a lot of us.
It is a lot. It is. And I think people should talk about it more, because that's a real reality. Everybody's not the A student and the star child. And so that was me. And then when I got to college and I saw all these different avenues and different ways I could express myself with the various organizations, different ways that I could work towards whatever the mission was, it helped my drive, it helped my dedication, it really sharpened my leadership skills. And it just made me fall in love with not always fading to the back, but actually contributing my mind and my thoughts. So it helped.
I can see how you say you're all about the mission, because that was you on the show. You were all about the mission. So it's funny that you mentioned that. I was like, the mission, no wonder. Because any mission that we ever had on the show, spoiler alert, there were missions on the show. Hard missions, physical missions where we had to work together to build a pot of money. But in your life, you've worked together for that mission with your teams and everyone around you for the mission.
I didn't think about that. Thank you.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a moment. That's a moment.
Reflect.
Yeah, that's a moment. But it's cool that it comes back to LU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
So for maybe some of our students that may be tuning in right now, how did you really get involved in your career? Because I think for a lot of us, especially first generation college students, right, like myself, we're like, all right, after we graduate college, what's next? How do we really get into the field?
That's such a great question because my career has been so fluid.
Yeah.
I did go the traditional route when everybody, 9 times out of 10, when people think social work, you think CPS and somebody's coming to take your kids,
That's right? Yeah.
And I didn't take kids, but I did. I interned at CPS because I thought that was the route in which you had to go. But then I started learning about, these other different avenues. So I started working in a hospital as a social worker, which was my, I think my bee's knees, if you will. That's really where I found I was the most useful. As people come in, they need services, you give them to them. It's always rotating, right? It's never the same client, never the same type of client in a hospital setting. And so I did that, and then subsequently I learned about travel social work, which allowed me to really bounce around the country every 3 to 6 months. And so I've lived in LA for a little bit, the Bay Area, Vegas, Atlanta, still doing social work, but kind of like filling in these employment holes. And really it came from relationships. Honestly, a lot of my career lateral or moves came from just knowing someone. And honestly, not even like, I know some people like relationship down, like network all the time. But me, it was just kind of like in the castle, just getting to know folks and then it would just come about. So I'm not like super network. It happens, when you talk to people and treat people well.
No, and I see that from you. We're doing the press tour for the show, right? We're visiting a lot of media outlets, but I see that from you, where at the end of the media interview, you're like, "Hey, what's your email? Can I get your email?"
Correct.
What's your direct email? Not the company's. I want yours.
I want your
and
producer
let me
person.
Spell your name right, and let me correct your name right. So I see that from you, and I think it's so cool. All of your experiences seem like they connect, right? It's just this big web of connection.
That is what it is. And also, you never know where those producers are going to be in like a couple years.
That's right.
So they might remember you, and you get a job. So
that's right.
You just talk to people.
So I need to know from you, Quentin, what's next from here?
Oh gosh, Shelby.
I gotta ask. The people want to know.
Honestly, so I have these last couple of years, I've been a political analyst, and I think that I will always work in some realm of politics because I think it's important, not the hyper-partisan demagoguery of it all, but we pay taxes, and our taxes go to the government, which employs people that create laws that we have to follow, right? So I think everyone just on a baseline level should be involved. So I'll never move away from it. But if I'm going to give you my honest heart's passion, I really want to move into being a host that you are doing so fabulously. Seriously, but I want more of like a variety show where we talk politics, we may talk pop culture, not the messiness of it, but things that actually impact our society. And maybe we'll get some celebrity drama in there once in a while. But that's really what I want to do. That's one of the reasons why I'm always getting those producers' emails. Because again, you just
making
don't
those
know.
Connections.
Absolutely. So that's what I'm working on. Hopefully that comes about. Everybody's been asking me on Twitter, am I going to do Survivor? The answer is no.
You heard it here first.
No. Would you do Survivor?
I would do it.
Shelby,
I would try and hang in there. I would do it for a few weeks. Yeah, I would do it.
Okay, well, I will root you on because I think you were great on the show.
Shelby.
Yes, you were excellent.
Thank
on the
you,
show.
Quentin. Thank you.
I would absolutely root you on. But yeah, that's what I want to do.
No, and I love your passion for politics and all that, and I definitely see that on your Instagram account, on your TikTok accounts, right? You are in it to win it, and you know what? I think you're well on your way to hosting. I don't think you need this big, huge platform or a big, huge stage, right? You do a great job of that on your Instagram accounts, and your audience engages with you, and they ask real questions. You give real answers, thorough, knowledgeable answers, right?
Thank you.
You've done your research, so yeah, I appreciate that about you, Quentin.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm gonna use one of your terms. Give the people your social media account. Give them your handles.
The handles, so you can follow me basically on any platform at Quentin R. Giles. Maybe TikTok is just Quentin Giles, one of them, but it'll pop up.
And your website, give them all the things.
Right. Okay, let me do everything. Okay, and you can also follow me. You can check out the website, www.quentinrgiles.com.
Yeah, and you can book Quentin for all kinds of things, right?
Speaking engagements. I actually just did an engagement here right before we started talking.
That's right.
Speaking engagements, I do work with nonprofits, really ones that are near and dear to my heart or where we align civically to really help them push more messaging. Because a lot of times what I found is a lot of the nonprofits don't really know how to get there and engage in that social media landscape. So I
Yeah.
kind of come in and bridge the gap, whether that's creating the content for them or giving them the roadmap to do it. So
I love
yeah,
that.
you book me for that too. You know, we're always looking for more jobs.
All right. Well, Quentin, you know what? I want to thank you for joining me on the LU Moment this week.
Thank you so much for having me, Shelby.
All right, guys, if you were just tuning in or couldn't stick around for the entire interview, don't you worry, I got you covered. Just search LU Moment right there on Spotify or Here Comes the Famous Line, wherever you get your podcast. As always, follow us on social media. You already know the username, but in case you don't, here's a hint. It's Lamar University. This is Shelby Rodriguez. Oh, there you go, LU. There you go. Right hand, LU. This is Shelby Rodriguez, Associate Director of Community Relations and Public Affairs here at Lamar University, the pride of Southeast Texas. And I'll talk to you next time.